promised to make New York City more affordable, he meant for small businesses too. That's why he signed an executive order just 2 weeks after coming into office to address fees and fines burdening our small businesses. Over the past 6 months, I've sat down with small businesses from every borough, restaurant owners, bodega owners, barbers, childcare providers, and I mostly listened and asked questions. What they told us shaped much of what we're announcing today. One of them was Don Kelly, who owns the Nourish Spot in Jamaica, Queens, who sat across from me and pointed out how hard it is for food businesses to get their staff certified, what businesses call the food safety certification, because there's essentially one place in the entire city to do it. That conversation is one of many that's reflected in what you'll hear today. When we say we're listening, we mean it. Here's the thing that owners kept telling us. Their biggest frustration usually isn't just the cost of a fee, although that matters. What weighs on them is the totality of things. Opening a business in the city can feel like the Odyssey. You know where you're trying to get, but there's an endless maze of challenges, always one more agency, one more form. And when you think you're almost there, another monster you didn't know you had to get by. Too much understanding of that in this room. And all of this sucks up the thing that matters as much as, or even more than money, time. The delays, the confusion, the sense that government isn't on their side, that's the journey that we've set out to shorten and to smooth. And it's why the mayor is directing us to keep going after these burdens from here forward. Small business owners don't give up, and neither will we. It is now my honor to introduce the person who made today possible, a mayor who believes government should work as hard for small businesses as small businesses work for your customers. Mayor Zoran Kwame Mamdani.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be back in the VX and to join so many small business leaders, city workers, and advocates live from La Bodega. And I am thrilled to be here to announce a multitude of regulatory reforms and sign a new executive order that will help small businesses like the real-life versions of the bodega and newsstand on this soundstage around me. Now, I want to acknowledge that I am here alongside a number of leaders across both city government and beyond that. We have, as you've heard from already, our Deputy Mayor, Julie Su, for Economic Justice. We have our Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, Helen Arteaga. We have a number of commissioners here with us. We have Kenny Minaya of the Small Business Services, Midori Valdivia of the Taxi and Limousine Commission, as well as Dr. Alistair Martin from our New York City Health Department. And joining them is our mom and pop czar, Delia Awusi, as well as our commissioner of the Office of MWBEs, Michael Garner. And I want to acknowledge the elected leaders who are here alongside us from both city and state government. We have our state senator, Joseph Serrano, who is hosting us in his district. We have the chair of the Committee on Small Businesses, Council Member Chanel Thomas Henry. The chair on the Committee of Consumer and Worker Protection, Councilmember Harvey Epstein. The chair on the Committee on Civil Service and Labor, Councilmember Shirley Aldebol. And we also have our borough president here. Can we have a round of applause here, please, for Borough President Vanessa Gibson? If you say the Bronx 3 times, she does appear. It's true. Don't abuse that power, though, but it is true. And we also want to acknowledge Joseph Garrido, the owner of La Bodega, for hosting this event and for having us here. And I want to thank as well Governor Kathy Hochul, who may not be present with us today, but is someone who is committed to this same work of making it easier for small businesses to work and to function and to keep their doors open across New York City and across New York State. Now, the final acknowledgments I want to make are to our small businesses themselves, because that's what the focus of today is about. You know, we have Christopher Afum, the owner of Lifestyle 1104 Juice Bar, for sharing his experiences as a small business owner. And all of the small business owners, the licensed drivers, the bids, the chambers of commerce, the trade associations, the advocacy groups, all of them that have been here and all of them that have also participated in our industry roundtables with their partnership, their insight, their recommendations, because everything that we present to you here today, these are ideas that have been presented to us. These are reflections of the struggles that small business owners have faced, as well as those who have fought to represent those small business owners. So I want to say thank you, because I know that so many of you have been asked time and again to offer your reflections. And many a time, those reflections have not been met with any action. And you chose to trust and believe that this time could be different. And we appreciate that you did that, because that is the basis of the recommendations here today. Thank you so much. Truly. Now, there are few pleasures quite as simple or satisfying as a chocolate milkshake on a hot day. Yet for thousands of small business owners, behind the simplicity of a sweet treat, complexity often lurks. For too long, restaurant owners and street vendors have been forced to apply for not one, but 2 permits if they want to serve warm food and cold dairy desserts at the same location. Today, my friends, we are lifting the freeze that too many New Yorkers must contend with as we launch Open for Small Businesses. Open, which stands for Overhauling Procedures and Expanding Navigation, is a package of more than 50 reforms that cut red tape, eliminate redundant fees, and streamline the permitting process. In a win for every ice cream lover across New York City, we will work with the state to do away with the frozen dessert permit that requires restaurants to seek out a superfluous second permit for what they're already doing, serving food. No more treatsploitation, as we say. Right now, barbershops need 3 licenses to cut hair. 1 to be a barber, 1 to own the shop, and 1 from the city on top of both. The state of affairs is frankly anti-fade, and we will not stand for it, which is why we will work with the state to streamline these licenses as well. And to the bingo enthusiasts out there, for too long, the potential earnings of a hot street at bingo have been capped by arcane rules that no longer reflect how the game is actually being played. With Open, DCWP will remove unnecessary regulations, including prize limits. These are just a few of the improvements we are proud to announce today as we make it clear we are in the pocket of Big Abuela. Our reforms touch virtually every sector, from bodegas that have to apply for a license to sell identical goods outside versus inside their shop, to the childcare providers who have to navigate 3 different agencies, overlapping processes before they can actually get up and running. Most of all, we can clap for the childcare providers. You know, in this city, when there is something that we see that we want to celebrate, we say that it's a miracle, that these are miracle workers. We don't want to have to ask people to be miracle workers. We want them to just be able to do what they should have always been able to do, which is work with a city government that's responsive. Because most of all, Open will not only make it easier to run a small business, but to open that small business, to reach for that most American of dreams here in New York City. To understand how these reforms came to be, I want to echo the words of Deputy Mayor Sue and take us back to January, when I signed an executive order that directed 7 city agencies to identify bureaucratic headaches holding our small businesses back and create a plan to fix them. As we pursued this work, we hosted roundtables, convened small business leaders across the 5 boroughs to understand their concerns. What we heard was not just an issue of a cumbersome permit here or a pesky fine there. It was a larger feeling, frankly, of neglect. Entrepreneurs shared how they so often felt the relationship between city government and small businesses was defined by chronic disregard. When I was inaugurated as mayor, I said the era of small expectations and even smaller ambitions was coming to an end in City Hall. Today's announcement represents that promise made material. In addition to the Open reforms, I am signing an executive order that will focus on 3 key areas to help small businesses get open and operating faster. First, Open will become a permanent body tasked with continuing to identify reforms and reductions year-round. Second, we will expand the city's Business Express service team, known as NYC Best, to better serve New York's entrepreneurs by creating a single point of contact for small businesses who will proactively reach out to owners ahead of inspections. Instead of navigating the confusing landscape of city permits and compliance regulations on their own, aspiring business owners will be assigned a case manager who will help walk them through the process. City Hall wants to support you so you are equipped to pass your inspection. We want to help you start operating as fast as possible. And we are building out our capacity to do just that. Third, we will ensure that inspectors hand out physical copies of an expanded Business Owner Bill of Rights at every single inspection, and that agencies distribute it at every single point of service. We are doing this because a survey conducted by Small Business Services in 2025 found that just 9% of New York City's businesses reported even knowing that a Bill of Rights existed. That is a problem that today's executive order will permanently fix, because if you do not know of your rights, you cannot use those rights. The experience of opening and running a small business should feel as smooth and seamless as it looks on this soundstage. Small business owners deserve a partner in city government. Our administration will continue to find ways to repair a relationship that for too long has been defined by mistrust and antagonism. Now, as City Hall works to deliver a government that is as efficient as it is ambitious, we will partner with small businesses so that they may get to their grand opening as quickly as possible. And as New Yorkers pursue their dreams across the 5 boroughs, we will also partner with them, support them, and make it easier for them to do what so many businesses have done in our city for generations: succeed. Because we know that in a city where we all know the lyrics by heart of grand opening, grand closing, we're too often focused on just one part of the work of what it means to be a small business owner. Now we are looking forward to putting together a city government with all of its partners to ensure that we will be there for every step of the way. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is the son of small business owners, our Small Business Services Commissioner, Kenny Manaya.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Su. Thank you, Mayor Mamdani. And thank you all for being here today. Since Mayor Mamdani appointed me commissioner, I made it a priority to hear directly from small business owners. I've sat with many of you at roundtables, walked commercial corridors with you, or visited you at your shop. While the topics we discussed and the challenges you all highlighted varied, I was struck by how each of our conversations ended the same way. I was politely thanked for listening. A memory was shared about a previous interaction with one of my predecessors, and then the same question was asked. Sometimes it was asked out loud, sometimes it kind of just hung in the air waiting to be asked. That question, how will this administration be different for small businesses? Today we begin to answer that question with the commitments we're making. Today we announce 50 reforms. We're cutting fines and fees and elevating the city's customer service standards. We're helping small business owners open quickly and stay open. We're creating a whole of government working group dedicated to continuous reform and excellence. These reforms will make a material difference in the lives of small businesses. For too long, you have watched administration after administration come through the door, sit at the counter, and nod along as you explain what's broken, yet nothing about our government changes. No more. Your concerns are not an abstraction to Deputy Mayor Su and me. We are the children of small business owners. We know what it's like for an immigrant business owner trying to decipher government paperwork or lose money on fines that a simple warning could have prevented. New York City is open for small business. Anyone that wants to take the first steps towards their dream of opening a small business, visit nyc.gov/business or call SBS at 888-SBS-4NYC to find your nearest business solution center. Thank you, Mayor Mamdani, Deputy Mayor Su, the 180,000 small businesses that call this city home. Thank you to the many advocates in this room and to the small business owners for demanding a government that works as hard to help them open their businesses as they work at their businesses. Thank you.
Our next speaker is the Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson.
Thank you so much, Deputy Mayor. Good afternoon. Buenos tardes a todos. Bienvenidos. Welcome to La Bodega. Only here at La Bodega do you get the most powerful reflection of the city of New York. We have a newsstand, we have a tire shop, we have a discount store, a liquor store, Chinese restaurant, a private house, and a city bus. That's amazing. So I also want to say thank you to Joseph Garrido, the owner here at La Bodega. This is not my first time here. I was very proud last year to host our Puerto Rican Heritage Month celebration. We also gave out toys back in December, and this is a great event space for residents and for so many New Yorkers that want the experience of the city of New York. So thank you so much for being here today. Let me first thank our mayor, Zahran Mamdani, our deputy mayor, Julie Su, Commissioner Kenny Manaya, all of our deputy mayors and commissioners who are here today, our city council chair of the Committee on Small Business, Councilmember Chanel Thomas Henry, all of my elected officials and colleagues in government, small businesses, we see you, entrepreneurs, all of our community partners and leaders. Want to recognize our Bronx Business Improvement Districts who are here today from 3rd Avenue, Southern Boulevard, and Morris Park. Thank you for being here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we already know that small businesses are the heart and soul and fabric of our neighborhoods. They create jobs. They strengthen our economy. They also provide so much access and opportunity to everyday goods and services that keep our borough and our city running. Just recently, earlier this month, from July 7th through July 12th, we proudly joined with Bronx EDC, the Chamber of Commerce, our business improvement districts, and we hosted Savor the Bronx 2026. It was our own borough's restaurant week because we believe in the diversity and the cultural aspect that our businesses and restaurants provide. So I want to say thank you to the nearly 50 restaurants that were a part of Savor the Bronx, because we truly believe in the work that you do. These are our restaurants, our bodegas, our grocery stores where families celebrate milestones. They gather together, the barbershop, the beauty salons, where generations have gone to get that first shape up and that first wash and set. And the corner stores where New Yorkers order chopped cheese, where business owners watch children and families grow up, the abuelitas in the neighborhood, and always making sure that we take care of our communities. Right here in our borough, many of our small businesses are family-owned and immigrant-owned businesses, and they deserve a government. They deserve a government that works for them and uplifts all of them and treats them with the dignity and respect that they have earned through generations of serving our communities. For too long, the unnecessary paperwork, confusing regulations, the red tape, the blue tape, and all kinds of tape, and bureaucratic delays have made it so hard for small businesses to strive and thrive. As elected leaders and this administration, we must do more to show up and remove those barriers and become a true partner to the small business community. We can't just talk about this work, but we have to show up in a real way and deliver for the small businesses of this city. These reforms that you heard about are an important step forward in creating a more transparent, efficient, and customer-focused process that gives business owners all the tools, all the support, all the resources that they need to grow and invest in our communities. The work will continue. And when we support our small businesses, we are creating jobs. We are boosting tourism. We are strengthening our neighborhoods. We are creating access and opportunity to build a stronger economy for all New Yorkers. I am very proud of this moment. As a borough president and former member of the city council, we've seen time and time again, businesses come to us needing that support, whether it's technical assistance, it's legal assistance, it's just basic necessities, and in a language diverse way. We don't all speak English as a primary language. And so I'm so glad that I am so glad that we have a mayor and an administration that understands and gets it and is unafraid to take bold steps forward to make a difference in the lives of our business owners, our entrepreneurs, all of the employees that you provide jobs and career pathways to. And so I'm grateful for this day, and I appreciate this moment and this partnership. And as we love to say in the Bronx means business, and the city of New York means business. Gracias a todos.
Our next speaker is Councilmember Chanel Thomas Henry.
Good afternoon. My name is Councilmember Chanel Thomas Henry, and I have the proud honor of representing the 21st Council District in Queens. Woo! I know we're in the Bronx, but I still have to represent the world's borough. And I proudly serve as the chair of the Committee on Small Business. In this role, I have the privilege of meeting entrepreneurs from every corner of our city, from family diners running for over 100 years to small business owners turning a new leaf on their dreams. And whether they're opening a restaurant, a child care center, a barbershop, or a family business, one message is consistent. I know how to run my business. I need government to help navigate theirs. You see, every successful small business starts with someone willing to take a risk. Government shouldn't be the biggest risk they face. Today's announcement is the result of those conversations. The open plan is more than 50 reforms born from Executive Order 11, but more importantly, it's a commitment to do things differently, a different way of governing. This was a collective effort of the administration, the council, small business community to meet people where they are. No one knows business better than the people running them. Every day, and good government works best when it responds to their expertise. That means clearer compliance requirements, more predictable timelines for opening a business, one-on-one support to help entrepreneurs get their doors open and keep them open. Better training for inspectors so enforcement is consistent, culturally responsive, and focused on helping businesses succeed, not simply catching them when they fall short. When inspectors understand realities of running a small business, communicate expectations clearly, and approach enforcement with consistency and cultural competency, everyone benefits. And that's the impact we're striving for. The council shares that commitment. We're advancing legislation that cuts bureaucracy, reduces unnecessary red tape, and responds to the everyday realities of running a small business. From reducing fines and streamlining inspections to allowing quarterly payments that give entrepreneurs greater flexibility. Through our conversations, we are creating policies that address today's challenges while preventing tomorrow's obstacles. This is what it looks like when government meets people where they are. I want to thank Mayor Mamdani, SBS Commissioner Manaya, Deputy Mayor Sue, and all the deputy mayors here, my fellow council members, the great Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson. But more importantly, I want to thank the business owners who are here in this room today. The business owners that keep our city moving. The business owners that employ our local community residents and continue to help our corridors thrive. Our bids, our economic development corporations, our chambers of commerce. Together, we're building a city where government is a partner in success, for every entrepreneur. Thank you.
And our last speaker represents the reason we are all here today, business owner Christopher Afum.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Afum, and I'm the owner of Lifestyle 1104 Juice Bar. Thank you. I opened up my first store in 2023, but the story began much earlier. I grew up in the Bronx, the son of immigrant parents from Ghana. They owned a small supermarket, and watching them work every day taught me what hard work, sacrifice, and serving your community really looks like. That's where my entrepreneur spirit came from. Later on, I went on to play college basketball, and that's where I learned how much nutrition impacts the body and its overall performance. When I moved back home after graduating, I was inspired to open Lifestyle 1104 Juice Bar to bridge the gap between the desert we had in the Bronx for food. Like many entrepreneurs, I quickly learned that running a business is not just about having a great idea. There are leases, permits, inspections, regulations, and so much more. You simply don't know what you're going through until you're living through them. It can be overwhelming, but that's why New York City Best team has been so